Welcome to another episode of In the Green Room. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Brittany Shanae, your favorite podcaster. And if I'm not right now, I will be by the end of this episode. Again, thank you for coming and sitting down on the green couch with us. I know you can see I'm not sitting here by myself this week. Again, I got another fantastic guest. I got my friend, brother, frat brother, twin. That's what the young folks say. Twin. My twin.
We twinning.
But I have Gavin Brown, CEO and founder of Events by Gavin. Gavin has been in my life since 2011, 2012, somewhere around in there.
Forever, ever.
Yeah, it's been over 10 years.
Yep.
Welcome to In the Green Room.
Finally, I've been trying to get here, but it's all good. It's now the time.
Is this how we're gonna?
This how we about
Finally.
to do it.
Oh my God. Okay.
This how we about to do it.
So anyway, let's get some better energy than that on here. Y'all know at the beginning of every episode, we start with the affirmation station.
Let's go.
So I got my 2 affirmation decks. I have the Transcend Beauty affirmation card deck, and then I have the I Am Everything affirmation deck. What we're going to do is I'm going to shuffle up each one of these decks. Okay. You're going to pull whatever card you feel so drawn to, and those 2 cards are going to be our affirmations that take us through the week.
Gotcha.
You think you can handle it?
Absolutely.
Right, because you can handle anything.
Exactly.
Listen.
I'm hoping I can get my lottery numbers out these cards or something.
It ain't no numbers or nothing in there.
I'm going to find a number. You know how your grandma do.
Yeah.
The dough means 12.
Right.
Yeah.
That's me. As I get older, I'm turning into.
See?
Oh, All right. So we have our first deck shuffle. I'm going to spread it out.
I'm going to always go with 3.
Oh, of course you are.
Yeah.
All right.
Do I look at it?
Yeah.
Okay. I radiate confidence.
I radiate confidence.
Turn
around, let the people see it. I radiate confidence. That's a good one. This
is interesting.
Probably gonna be a part of the topic of discussion, huh?
I'm a little nervous now.
Nah, I know. I've been kind of struggling with that. And a lot of people think that I've been walking in who I truly am for all these years because of what they see on social media and all of that. But best believe I'm just now figuring out how to be truly confident in who I am.
That part.
And I think a lot of us as creatives are at that point trying to, it's like a thin line between being
authentic.
Yes. and what's the word that I was thinking? I like that. But being prideful and confident. And you don't want to teeter over and become too prideful or be too boisterous and stuff like that. Yep. But it is okay to radiate confidence and be your truest, authentic self.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see what our second card going to be. You picked 3 the first time. You going to go with 3 again? Or how you feeling?
I'm going to do a random here.
Okay. All right.
I am ambitious. I radiate confidence, and I am ambitious. Wow.
You're not going to read the little blurb under there? I put my goals and ideas into action. I take a leap of faith, and I believe in myself. When I put my heart's desires into action, it is for the good of all of us involved. I am ambitious. I think that's a perfect one for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because if ain't nothing else gonna happen, Gavin gonna make it happen.
So you know what's funny about these? I radiate confidence, I automatically took it to the physical.
Okay.
But then when I pulled the I am ambitious, I put this all together with my business.
Yeah.
So I wasn't as confident when I first started my business. I know we probably jumping ahead,
It's okay.
but I wasn't as confident in starting my business. I wasn't as confident in taking certain clients. But I just had a conversation with my mentor yesterday, and I was telling him how like I'm a lot more confident now. I feel like I'm ready to take on any client at this point. I hated doing weddings. I hated doing weddings, and now like it's just like another thing to me.
Right.
And so now I'm like, yeah, let me go out and get whoever.
Yep.
So this is perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
wow. I always say, you know, everybody that comes on the podcast, when they pull these cards, it's exactly what they need.
Yeah.
And even if they don't know how it relates directly to what's going on in that moment, the more we talk about it, the more they understand how the card relates to, you know, whatever their present circumstances are.
Wow.
So good. Welcome to this episode of In the Green Room. I can't wait for us to get into the thick of it and talk about some things and crack some jokes, as I know you probably will. So stay tuned and take a seat. See y'all in a minute. I mean, I honestly think that in our fields, and we're kind of talking, but in our fields, a big failure is necessary. Because like you said, you were floating on this high horse, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get there, blah, 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 blah. But my pride taught me a lesson that day.
Humility,
like just ask for what you need and you can get there. And I waited until the last minute, but like it was such a humbling moment for my career as an artist, and not just singing, but in all levels of artistry, because the amount of grace that she showed me, because she knew that I was a good person.
This is what I was just about to say. Somebody told me about 4 weeks ago about the importance of grace. And I feel like that is necessary when being a business owner.
Yeah.
Like we have to have these failures. We have to have these mistakes so people can show us grace so that we know how to do the same thing. Because me having to work with different vendors, and sometimes these vendors are so trashy.
Yeah.
But I have to say, Gavin, what happened when you went and did this? Like, grace has been literally my word now for the past couple months.
Yeah. I mean, and it's so important in all facets of life, man. Like, everybody is going through something. Every single person that's walking on this earth, even if they ain't walking on this earth, they damn sure going through something if they can't walk.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. So everybody has their own individual circumstance. Yes, some people, they lash out when they're going through some crazy shit. Some people, they put a smile on their face and they walk as if nothing is bothering them. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the both of us can identify with that on a spiritual level.
So many levels.
In all of that, like, we just got to understand, if whatever someone's reaction is, whatever somebody's action is, that has 100% to do with them. It has nothing to do with you. So it's a choice. And sometimes it's not the easiest choice to give somebody grace. But I think after the choice is made, it irons everything out. Right. Once you make the choice to give somebody grace in whatever the circumstance is, you get an immediate return on your investment.
I was reading this book called The 4 Agreements, and I know I push it on you and talk about it all the time, but that was one of the things that they talked about in The 4 Agreements, about how we react to situations and whether or not we're going to take it personal. Yep. And I'm sorry, I know I'm hitting mics and stuff, but taking things personal, it could be, even if I walk down the street and I see you and I'm like, girl, I hate you. And then you be like, what F you? Like, I could choose to be like, that girl was rude, whatever.
Yeah.
You could choose to say that boy was rude or
Yeah.
whatever. But at the end of the day, why you taking that personal, especially if I didn't know you?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
why take it
It ain't got
personal?
nothing to do
Because
with you.
they don't know you. That don't have nothing. That dude probably said that. I probably said that because I was going through some stuff. I just got attacked by bees,
Yeah.
like Brother Kevin.
Right. Oh, Lord.
And I'm having a horrible day. So why you deciding to take it personal?
Exactly.
Why you deciding to take it personal with your mate? You
Yep.
might wake up and your mate got a nasty attitude. Don't take it personal and feel like you did something.
Yeah.
Because they might have had a horrible dream about their deceased family member or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that in the book was very important. And again, that's something that I'm applying to my business.
Yes.
When these clients come with these nasty attitudes and you feel like you can't ever satisfy them, I'm trying to get out of that situation of Gavin, don't take that personal. That ain't got nothing to do with you because you know you did your best. That's another agreement in the book. Always do your best. And it's like, as long as I know I've done my best, I can't take nothing personal with however that person feels about it. So
100%.
Great
I mean,
point.
we could get to talking and all of that, but I want to formally get into this episode. Welcome to this episode of In the Green Room podcast. As you can see, we done already got into the thick of it.
Right.
I think it's important to be able to have discussions like this with people in your circle. If you aren't able to have conversations with people that you spend a lot of time with and that you consider a friend, you need to reevaluate the whole situation, sis and bro, and they and them and all of y'all.
Oh, y'all.
Because I don't want to be around people that I'm not lifting and they're not lifting me. Me and Gavin do completely different things. But I feel like in all the things that we do, when me and you both have events, we're always there for each other to contribute in some type of way. And I think that's really cool. I say all that to say, I want to get to, I know you very well, but I want my audience to get to know you. In whatever way you choose to answer this, answer it. Who is Gavin Brown?
So Gavin Brown is a creative. Gavin Brown is Superman. And that, I mean that in the most humble way. I'm resilient. I am passionate. I'm caring, even though I have a lot of people say I have like a hard exterior, but I'm truly like a caring person for real. I'm a big softie. Gavin Brown is a family man. I love my family, do anything for them. I'm me.
Yeah.
There's no other like it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Where you from, Gavin?
So I'm from the classic city of Athens, Georgia. Go Dogs. Go Dogs.
I've never heard nobody say the classic
city of Athens, Georgia. Yeah, Athens is called a classic city.
The fake 706.
Wait. See, and I knew she was about to say something about that. We are the real 706.
No. Augusta was there first.
I don't know nothing about Columbus, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia. Anybody else with a 706 is Athens, Georgia. All right. Remember, we also have the flagship institution of Georgia. Make sure y'all remember that. Even though we are the smallest county in Georgia, we're one of the most powerful counties. We are, what do you call it? A dual? Is it a dual city? Can't think of the word, but we're Athens, Clark County.
Got it.
Whatever
Augusta,
that means.
Richmond County is also like that. So, if you want to get into it more.
Anywho, whatever. But yeah, so to answer your question again, I am from the classic city of Athens, Georgia.
Okay.
Home of Nene Leaks and Phaser Parks. Even though Nene not really from there, but she grew up there. Our boy Derek, what's Derek's last name? Pinky Cole's husband. He owns Big
Yes.
Dave's Cheesesteaks. Yeah, so Derek is not from there either.
I was about to
However,
say.
he grew up and graduated high school from Athens, Georgia.
Okay.
But Herschel not from there either, but he played football
Lord.
at Georgia. I don't even know why I brought him up.
I don't know either.
But we have some amazing people from the Classic City coming out of the Classic City. So,
Yeah. Okay. Nice. I love Gavin, y'all. I love Gavin. Did you always know that, like from a young age, that you were gonna do something in the creative, in something creative, or was there a shift? What did you want to be when you grew up?
I knew that I was destined to be a creative.
Okay.
I didn't want to necessarily be a creative. I wanted, and this has followed me into my adulthood, I wanted to be everything other people thought I should be. But I knew that I was destined to be a creative. And y'all might not believe this story, but so I'm an event planner, and again, we're probably hopping ahead here, but in kindergarten, I planned a Christmas parade in our elementary school in kindergarten. So and I don't know the full details.
Yeah.
I don't remember how I came up with it, but I'm gonna give y'all a few stories and y'all gonna be like, what? But kindergarten. So I apparently went to the teacher. I don't know. I told her an idea that I wanted to do a Christmas parade around the school. And so she was like, okay, whatever, something, I don't know. But either way, I ended up putting together a Christmas parade. But I got mad because, of course, I gave them the idea. I talked about some of the things I wanted to do with it as far as making fake floats and beating on drums and stuff like that. So we use like buckets and stuff to beat on, whatever. I told the teachers this. And much like a lot of stuff, they took the idea and they ran with it. Of course, they had to be in control of it, but I still was the creative director, like always. But I got really upset because they chose the characters for all the kids. So they chose who would be the reindeers. They painted their nose. They chose everything. But that one star thing that I wanted to do as the inventor, the creative, all of that was be Santa Claus.
And they didn't let you.
And they chose Brian McDaniel.
You remember the name?
And I feel some type of way because Miss Malden.
I
just added you, Miss Malden, on Facebook.
Please,
and I just brought that up to her. Do y'all remember y'all chose Brian McDaniel over me to be Santa Claus? Now, true enough, Brian McDaniel was a little bigger than me. I was a real healthy kid, so I expected to be Santa Claus. But now that I look back on it, he did, better. Okay. His character, his look, like fat white kid. He he looked like Santa Claus. But yeah, I felt some type of way about that, man. I ain't gonna even lie. And to be honest with you, I don't even remember what character I played in the parade at this point.
Because you just wanted to be Santa Claus.
But again, I was the creative, the behind the scenes person, like always. Let's fast forward. So in either fourth or fifth, it had to be fifth grade because it was Miss Carr. So yeah, it was fifth grade. I did a haunted house for all the fifth grade classes. I can remember this one. I created a haunted house for Halloween for all the fifth grade classes to go through. So we had an empty like science room next to the classrooms or whatever. We all used to go in that room for science. All the fifth grade classes did. So they really stopped using the room. So Miss Carr told me that I can use that room. She used to allow me to go in that class, like during our recess time or whatever, and build the haunted house. And so I put like tables up to make like a maze. And we had like the little closets and stuff already in there. So I was like, okay, this person gonna jump out of this closet. This person gonna do this. And I literally created a haunted house for our fifth grade class to go through. And it's so funny because I ended up getting a job at Gordon State College as a residence director but I also did events for students there with student activities. And I built the annual haunted house. Like we took a whole dorm like building and created a haunted house with it. It was the haunted hospital, and it was supposed to be to teach about STDs. And so the horrors of STDs. So I couldn't do nothing but laugh when I got that job and I brought that idea up, because I'm like, I did this in 5th grade.
Right.
But yeah. So as you can see, I've always been destined. But I used to tell people I was going to be a statistician just because it sounded good. I didn't really even know what a statistician was. And then when I got to like 8th grade, I used to tell people I was going to design roller coasters.
Still a creative.
Yeah, that was still, and I really did want to do that though, regardless of what people thought. But when I used to say statistician in elementary, people were like, "Oh, he's so smart,
so cool."
And I just wanted people, because I was a public speaker in elementary school.
I can tell.
So I was in like Toastmasters, and I used to do for 4-H. We went to CPA and DPA, and that was my category. It was always the public speaking category. So I used to compete there every year. Joseph Smith, he used to always beat me.
He calling our names.
I remember all this stuff because I'm very competitive, as you can see. So I remember these names.
Yeah.
Joseph Smith and Kelly Clifton. Kelly Clifton used to always beat me at CPA. But if I happened to win at CPA and make it to DPA, I had to face Joseph Smith. And I ain't never won DPA. Ever. Joseph always. But
it's okay. I know that's right, Gavin. Clearly, and it's all coming out right now.
I'm venting right now. We sitting on the couch.
Right.
This is my therapy.
Ain't no wrong with it. So let's talk about your journey to getting to Events by Gavin, which is, your event planning company. And of course, you can jump wherever because it's a long. You just said you started in 5th grade.
Yeah.
That was kindergarten was your first creative directing gig. You know what I'm saying? So from kindergarten, how do you get to Events by Gavin?
So let's go back a little bit further. Actually, so from after the haunted house situation, I feel like I didn't do well. I did at the summer camps. I used to put together the shows and stuff for the talent shows, like the acts for the talent shows. So I would always not only be in an act, but I would pull an act together for like my peers. So I continued to be a creative there all the way up until high school. High school is when I really got into the thick of it because money started getting involved. And I joined an organization called the Sigma Beta Club. Shout out to Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Blue Phi. You already know. So I was in the Sigma Beta Club. We had to do fundraising. For me, I was too grown for my own good, but I was responsible. I wasn't like these bad kids that's grown with mouth. I was like, nah, I'm out here making it happen. I ain't waiting on no grown folk. We gonna do it. And I used to tell my Sigma Beta brothers that. I was like, we not waiting on the grad chat to give us no money. So I started planning step shows in high school. And that was our fundraiser to do any trips we wanted to do. So I started doing the step show. We were literally pulling teams from other states. Here I am, 16 years old, planning step show for us to raise money because our annual trip was going to Tallahassee, Florida. Shout out to Miss Tiki, rest in peace. Shout out to the Zeta Arcanettes. That's where we were going. That's how I actually met my best friend too, by the way. But yeah, so we used to go down to Tallahassee, Florida, and we needed money. So that's how we raised our money, by doing that step show every single year. And my name was Omnipotent in Sigma Beta because they was like, everybody did it and you know everything. And so I'm like, yeah, but I'm making it happen. That's just what we do. And fast forward from that, that's how I got my line name for Sigma, which is regulator. Like, I just like to regulate. Anyway, it just comes natural. But so making money there leads to college. Now we having Sigma Week. Now I'm planning all the stuff for Sigma Week. Now we got, some brothers with some creative ideas. Shanley, Kelvin, Joe Butts. Like we were coming up with some creative stuff, but I'm like, this how we need to implement.
Mm-hmm.
So we all got together and that taught me more and more. Like I learned more and more just from Sigma Beta planning to Sigma Week planning. And I tell anybody, I'm like, if you plan a Greek week, you're an event planner, whether you know it or not. So that taught me a lot of the skills that I utilize today in my business.
Mm-hmm.
And so it went from that to one of my mentors, Sammy Haynes. He worked at Fort Valley State. He was telling me, he was like, shout out to Sammy, shout out to Fort Valley State.
The Fort Valley State University.
Absolutely. So Sammy was like, I got, a friend that owns an event planning company in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. He needs some volunteers for certain things. Mm-hmm. And it started getting to the point where it was like little small stuff, but then it was like, oh, we're doing Essence. Oh, we're doing V103.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing what's the magazine? Sheen magazine. It started getting these big names, and they were like, we need more and more volunteers. And as I continue to volunteer at events, keep in mind I'm driving from Fort Valley to Atlanta now on the weekends. And keep in mind I was in the band. So it may have been after we in a football game, if it was a home game, I'm now driving up that night to go volunteer that night. So it became a passion for me. I started meeting celebrities. I started rubbing elbows with different people. Ms. Zenona Clayton, that she's like the founder of the Trumpet Awards. Like I was doing that event and actually being able to speak to her, that was a big thing for me. So I'm like, I need to stick with this company. So I continued to volunteer. Then it was here $100. $100 is good for me in college. Appreciate it. That, hey, we can make $100 straight for 2 weeks in college. So, he'll give me some money from time to time. Sometimes I'll just continue to volunteer. Then it was getting to the point we were doing like DTLR, and we can go in and get like 3-4 pairs of free shoes.
Oh.
I'm good.
Right.
I'm Gucci.
Oh.
So, hey, so from there, after I graduated, I kind of veered off, continued to do, I was doing like higher ed stuff, that kind of stuff, but I was still volunteering a little bit. But it started getting to the point where people were asking me to come and do events outside of Jamal King. Shout out to Jamal King, Steps Events Planning Firm. So I'm like, okay, look like I can do this. And from there, my cousin, she asked me to do her baby shower. And I'm like, whoa, I'm used to doing corporate stuff.
Yeah.
But she asked me to do her baby shower, did her baby shower. And it was a different setup because most baby showers, we used to the meatballs and pasta salad, used to the little cute balloons here and there. Everybody come in and chill. And honestly, baby showers done flipped now because they used to be an all-female thing.
Yeah, now it's mixed crowd.
Everybody there. It's a party. And this is what her shower was. It was called a baby ball.
Yeah.
So before all them sneaker balls, which I despise, but it was an actual formal ball for her baby shower. Everybody was there. Her baby daddy was a Kappa. So, he had all his frat brothers there.
Yeah.
It was like a whole formal party.
Yeah.
And so when people saw the videos of that, when they saw pictures of that, hey, Gavin, hey.
Yeah.
Where the money?
Well, no, for real.
Where the money at?
For real.
What our money. So, yeah, I mean, from there, everything kicked off, and literally I lost my job in 2019. I said, I'm going to go ahead and do this full time. So what I did was February 1st, 2020, I went ahead and got my LLC for my company. COVID hit the next week.
Yep. Yeah.
But that whole year was my best year thus far,
Yeah.
surprisingly, for my business. Because everybody wanted to be creative. They still wanted to party, but they couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I was doing backyard stuff and house setups, little intimate, romantic dinners, all of that. It was my best year.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yeah. Events by Gavin.
Events by Gavin.
So entrepreneurship.
Yikes.
Let's talk about it. What you gotta say? What comes to your mind? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say entrepreneurship? Let's talk about it.
Stress.
Yeah.
The thing is, being an entrepreneur, what I'm learning is you can't go in this thing trying to be an entrepreneur to make money.
Yep.
You still gotta follow a passion when doing this, because I can go out because I'm a creative, I got 30,000 ideas to make money and be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I can go out right now and start selling plants.
Yeah.
I would literally find out who all the plant moms and dads are, and I would create a website and start selling plants. I would create an app with it and start teaching you how to grow plants and how to, save your plants when they die, and what's the best plant and what temperature to keep your plant. And I just came up with this off the top of my head.
Right.
So that's the type of stuff that I can do with entrepreneurship, but that's not my passion.
Yeah.
So it's gonna wear me out.
Yeah.
So what I'm finding is I had to slow down, because I started coming up with all kind of stuff. I was selling I Step t-shirts. I was a step instructor, which stepping is my passion. But man, I'm telling you, I done tried a little bit of everything. Even honestly down to my event space. I thought it was a passion of mine, but it really wasn't, at least the direction I was going in with it. So whereas it was kind of making me money, I realized that I felt more drained. I was tired with it. And I told myself from my last 9 to 5 that I was never going to get into a situation again where I didn't enjoy what I did.
Right.
And it started getting to the point with my event space where I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I knew then, I was like, I'm okay with letting this go.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say, as an entrepreneur, you still gotta have a passion and a love for what you do or what you selling, or a mission or a goal with it, before just stepping out there. Because I know, not to get religious, but only what you do for Christ will last. I'm telling you. So if you out here trying to sell cocaine and talking about you're an entrepreneur because you're trying to buy a car wash with it ain't gonna last.
Yeah. And it sounds like, from what you say, you got to be willing to make hard decisions as an entrepreneur. Like that's one of the biggest lessons I had to learn as an entrepreneur and creative in general. And entrepreneurship, when I founded Goddess Glow the brand, it started with just lashes. Then I moved from lashes to cosmetics. And then I got this bright idea to go with accessories as well.
Yeah.
I love accessories. I get a lot of compliments on accessories, but when I added accessories to the line, I was getting no return on my investment. And I don't know if it was my marketing, if at that point my audience, my audience was there for the cosmetics. So I would have had to take more time to convert my cosmetic audience to an accessory audience. And I realistically didn't have the time for that. I realistically didn't have the funds for that. It was a lot of decisions that I had to make. And then realistically, I was like, all right, Brett, what you gonna do? Barbecue and mildew. And so I just had not going out of business, but all right, we tried it. And I was honest about it. Like, I was really honest about it. Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah.
It's simply not working.
Yeah.
And you are going to, how you said at your last 9 to 5, you're not going into nothing else feeling exhausted and feeling drained when it came to the accessory part of my brand. Sorry, y'all, I've been partying a little bit, so I'm a little hoarse.
She ain't been partying. She been spreading it low and laying it wide.
Anyway, but like, it was a very hard decision, but I had to be real. And I think that's a vital part of entrepreneurship, is being open to failing. Like, failure, I saw I posted a reel today on Instagram, and when I get ready to post my reels, I go through and I look at what the trending sounds are, so I can put it on there so we can get max. So the song that I chose today was trending, but the name of the song was Divine Failure. And I was like, whoa. You think about all these other things that are divine timing, but you never see divine failure in the same word.
Yeah.
But I just think that is such an essential part of the process.
Absolutely.
Because how do you know if you don't fail? And a lot of times what creatives and entrepreneurs coming into it, like when you're early on your journey as a creator or as an entrepreneur, it's easier to get discouraged, especially with the internet. You see people getting it so quick when it's not really quick at all. Like, what people don't understand is people share with you what they want to share with you. And a lot of them,
results.
Yes. And a lot of times it seems like, especially with singers and stuff like that, or performers, you got rappers and stuff like that, it seems like they blew up overnight. Some do that, but those are rare occurrences. But a lot of times there are years of work. There are years of, like her, Gabby, what her real name is, but her. This girl has been in the game whatever that first set of music that she dropped. Before that, she was in the game for like 10 years. Like, putting in work, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of, like, Victoria Monet, she's going crazy right now with the On My Mama song. Victoria Monet has been writing for Ariana Grande, Fifth Harmony, she been that girl, you know what I'm saying? But that's another reason why I think people should be more open with their processes, because people think that the shit happens overnight. No, and it just does not. But in that process, you got to fail. You gotta fail. Because, again, how else are you gonna know how to give grace?
That part.
How else are you gonna know how to receive grace? How else are you gonna know
just how to improve? Like,
that part. If
you don't fail, you're gonna always feel like, oh, I'm that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my stuff, my poop don't stink.
Yep.
All of that. Like, you got to fail.
Yeah.
That's the only way God is gonna push you. Life is gonna push you to go and sit back and think, okay, let me readjust.
Of course. Yeah, for real.
What my homegirl say, Fanny, you gotta lose to win.
No, for real.
Like, seriously.
No, for real. So, as an entrepreneur, when you fail, what does your self-care look like in those moments of failure? And because for me, self-care is going to buy a half gallon of ice cream from Kroger. It doesn't always look like working. A lot of people think, oh, she just gonna go to the gym and blah. No. And if you don't have an answer to that, what are we gonna do to, improve the self-care processes? But what do you do when in a failure?
So what I used to do before I became saved was I'll go find some good greenery that God did create, and and just
blow it down.
Freight train my life away.
Yeah.
And honestly, it caused me to be more creative, and go back and revamp and readjust. Now that I'm saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost, I think just writing the vision. So, and when I say that, me literally journaling.
Yeah.
Literally, and I don't really do it the old school way, but go in my phone and my notes and write down, like, how can I fix this?
Yeah.
What did I do wrong? You know, I'll put all that stuff, go back and try to answer the questions. Then I'll go and I'm the type that I look at my work, look at whatever service it was that I did over and over. I go back and just revisit it and say, okay, what was wrong with it? I'll send it out. I got friends that I would literally send stuff out to and be like, look at this. Tell me what you think. You know, that kind of stuff. And then I'll go back and make the adjustments. But I have to write it down because I'm a visual person anyway. So I have to just write down what I did wrong. I have to screenshot what I did wrong, take a look at it, and just go back and you see this here, you see this here, whatever. Or even if it was a service, you know, example of that, I just did a wedding reception, and I did not fail with the wedding reception at all, but I was slightly disappointed at how I handled one of the guests.
Okay.
And so I had to go back and revisit and say, okay, what could I have said differently? Because I didn't like the fact, and I know we're not going to always please everybody, but I did not like the fact that she said he was rude. Because again, I never want those type of stains on my business. So I did, even though I know I was right in the situation, but I literally sat down and kind of wrote out statements that I can now use when I get those type of guests, because I know it's gonna come again. So that's kind of my thing now. Literally just writing, revisiting, writing, revisiting.
But is that self-care?
It's definitely not self-care.
Because that was the question.
Yeah.
I want you. And I love that though.
Pornhub. That's the self-care. Pornhub. Pornhub makes everything better. Drop down in them comments or whatever it is gonna be on, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. Pornhub makes everything better. Self-care. And for you guys, put the bottle or whatever you use in front of like a heater for like 10 minutes.
Gavin!
Save your life. Ladies, I'm telling you, candy coated night toys, whatever. From what I heard, what I heard, the best self-care is the lipstick. Self-care. It'll take all your problems away. I promise you.
This might be the most unhinged episode of this season. I'm not going to apologize because this is what this space is. After this man just said, you know, before I was saved, but now that I'm saved and sanctified, then started talking about Pornhub.
Because, I mean, the way I look at it is you're not fornicating, technically. I mean, because it ain't another person, you know? So this is how, because the thing with the Bible is, this is what we got to understand.
Where are we going?
Hold on. I done had this on my heart for a long time. Think about how long ago the Bible was written.
Yeah.
It's the same with manuals, like when you write a manual for a car, or you write a manual for childcare now. We have evolved over time. Stuff changes. So whatever was written in the Bible like 1,300,000 years ago, you think we still can utilize that and apply it the exact same way as now? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So if you don't want me out here having sex before marriage and all that, even though whatever, having sex before marriage, then how can I prevent that? Have sex with myself.
Oh my God.
So that needs to be the new Gavin version of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we have to really think about those adjustments in life and apply it to everything. We can't keep doing the same old thing over and over and over and over, you know, and we'll take this back to our business. We can't keep applying the same business practices that they applied 20, 30 years ago and think we're going to have a successful business. Even look at like employers, this whole tattoo situation, hair.
They've had to adjust.
You got to. Mm-hmm. And I know I done got off subject. I don't even know how I got here, but it's my ADHD. I mean, it is what it is. Even like, I'm still tripping on why they feel like teachers have to be so conservative in the classroom. And what I mean by that is like your dress and stuff. Now, don't come in with the hoochie daddies or the hoochie mamas or none of that. But like, why your tattoo can't show? Why you can't have a nose piercing? Like, that's crazy.
That's what real humans look like.
Exactly. And what they got to do with the education you giving my child. As long as you teaching my child that 1 + 1 is 6, then I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying?
Where you learned that math at? In Athens?
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Gavin, no. You are unhinged. Is that good?
It's very good.
Uh-huh. I see.
And I don't really drink because I'm saved. But
here you go.
Oh, again. And that's just what is it?
Juice?
No, the grape juice for communion.
Oh, I just had that at the house. I had it at the crib.
Tell me this though. Oh. Do you think that's demonic?
What?
Us eating of the flesh and drinking the blood.
No, it's ritualistic. It's a ritual.
Is that not demonic?
No, it's not. That's what Christians call it, but it's not demonic.
No, Christians don't call it. Well,
yes, they do.
Well, they say
anything
stuff like that.
Anything that Christians don't recognize as a Christian practice is automatically demonic.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a Christian practice though, but I really feel like and I am spiritual. I believe in the Lord because He has set me free. But some things I really, really, really think about, you know, as Christians, as religious people, some things are really demonic-ish to me. I think if I touch you on the head and you start vibrating and falling out and foaming at the mouth, and they say you caught the Holy Ghost, is that not demonic to y'all?
It's demonic. I don't think demonic should be the right word that you use.
Well, what should I use?
It's a spiritual. Well, I don't believe in that tapping on the head, falling out shit. That's some bullshit. If I'm just being honest, like I just think that is crazy. That's insane. However, eating the bread and drinking the cup, that's a ritual. It's a practice. It's a spiritual practice. Anything that Christians, again, anything that they say ain't Christianity is automatically demonic. But
this witchcraft right here.
That's what I'm saying. So am I a demon? Because I'm very blessed.
You might be a witch.
Well.
But this still is good, y'all.
Well.
This is real good because it like really tied into my life right now. So if y'all want to hit the lottery, come holler at Brittany and her cards.
Gavin, you are crazy.
You want a new man?
Do not. No. I ain't doing no readings. All I'm doing is pulling affirmation cards. I do not know your future, present, or past. I ain't. That ain't me. You can go on YouTube and find you some readings if you want that, or go find you one. That ain't me. Okay, Gavin, where are we in this interview? I feel like you done took control. What questions you got?
I am the regulator.
You got some regular.
But I promise you, like, I don't know if I'm foaming out the mouth, but if y'all see anything on my mouth, put that in the comments. Gavin, you got something on your mouth.
Oh my God.
And then even though we probably done filming, I'm gonna feel that energy and I'm gonna wipe it off. Cause that's the type of I am. Moving on.
I had a question to ask you, and you done took me 6 sides of everywhere.
Sorry.
You are insane. I know, and some people know, and we still trying to, find it for you.
Mm-hmm.
What has this journey of finding a kidney been like? Like, what has that been? Because, I mean, we done talked about how hard entrepreneurship is.
Mm-hmm.
We done talked about the fact that in 2019, you lost your job and was like, it's time to do it, right? Then you got over here on left field a whole nother battle that you're battling. What was the discovery? And what has this process been like? And I want you to share with people how they can help and all of that stuff. Like, let's talk about it.
So when you first asked me who Gavin was, and I said, I am a resilient person. And I am Superman. That's what I mean by that. And again, I mean it in the most humble way. But a lot of people, if I don't tell you, like, people don't really know exactly what is going on in my life because I just like to keep it moving. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. So 2018, actually, I think maybe 2018, 2019, something like that. Either way, it was a year prior to I went to Cuba, and that's when I really first started noticing that I was swelling.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe it was because, the long flight, and then when you get to Cuba, all they was feeding us was pork.
Yeah.
Like, the chef, we had an in-house chef, and it was literally, we'll walk out for breakfast and it's a whole pig laying on the table. Yeah. So it's like we almost didn't have a choice. So I'm eating all this pork, all this sodium, and I'm like, okay, well, my swelling is probably coming from this, whatever. Not really paying it any mind. Get back to the States, still notice the swelling. For a whole year, it'll kind of go up and down. But my ankles, feet were still always slightly swollen to the point where I was buying my shoe sizes like a size larger, all of that. Other than that, those were really the only symptoms. It was just the physical that I knew of, because keep in mind, I've had diabetes since 16.
Yeah.
So my diabetes, the situations go up and down. So I'm kind of always sick from that. So, I didn't think of anything else that it could be besides you eating too much salt. Okay. Wasn't really checking my blood pressure as much. However, like the 1 or 2 times I checked it, it'll be slightly elevated, whatever. Didn't think too much about it. Just like, Gavin, slow down on fast food, blah, blah, blah. Whole year I go through this. I would say, I can't remember the date again. The dates kind of were mixed up or whatever. But my homeboy ended up dying randomly. And I went to the funeral. I still remember I rode with my homegirl Daviette to the funeral, and she saw like my legs and stuff because they had really swollen up. And she asked me what was going on. I told her, I'm like, I don't know. I said, man, it just be doing this. Now, the week before, I went riding 4-wheelers with my friends, and I could barely like walk. I was so swollen. My nuts had swollen up to where like I was walking around. It was like, it was crazy.
Oh.
And so I told, my friends, because they was like, you need to go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I'm gonna go, whatever. Still went that whole week. Then that's when Robo ended up dying. I went to his funeral. So we stood outside of the church after the funeral, me and some of my college homeboys, well, and Daviette, she was there. And we were just saying, man, we got to make sure we do a better job with our health and all that stuff. We got to check on ourselves, and we don't want to just randomly die and blah, 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 blah. And Daviette looked over me and she was like, Gavin.
Right.
And I was like, man, okay, whatever, And she was like, no, I'm for real. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on Monday. She was like, why you can't go tomorrow?
Right.
And I was like, tomorrow's Sunday, I'm gonna go Monday. So I did end up going on Monday. Went Monday, they immediately admitted me in the hospital because they was like, my blood pressure was at stroke level, and they thought that I may have had kidney failure. And they wanted to see what stage of the renal failure I was in.
And you was just walking around.
Just
la la la.
Still working, still hurting.
Yeah.
In pain, because now my feet were so swollen, it was
hard to walk.
Yeah, it was hurting to walk. But again, me being me, pushed through the pain. So
toxic masculinity.
Pushing through the pain, being broke.
And knowing I had masculinity.
To work. But yeah. So they admitted me in. They then said, oh, you're at stage 3.
And what's the highest stage?
Stage 5, I think.
Okay.
And they were like, but stage 4 is when you have to go on dialysis. And so they was like, we want to see, if we're going to have to put you on dialysis, yada, yada, yada. And like, I want to say it was that night. They was like, we about to do emergency surgery and put the catheter in your chest because we got to start you on dialysis. So most likely you're at stage 4 at this point.
So you ain't have no time to prepare.
To process nothing. Yeah. All this literally happened like within a 24-hour time span.
Is this when you were at the hospital in East Point?
Mm-hmm.
I came to see you.
Yep.
I cussed Gavin ass out. Cause what is you doing and ain't telling nobody what you got going on?
Yeah, I actually finally, because I was trying to keep my family out of it, everything. But my mom, my uncle, grandma, I think my mom came at that time too. But I remember like my mama ended up staying there at the hospital. And I remember when they said that, the same exact thing happened when they told me I had diabetes. You know what? I've never realized this or spoken it out loud. My mom was there and I just broke down. God, that's almost like deja vu, because it was the exact same. It was just my mom in the room when they told me about the diabetes. But anyway, so admitted me in the hospital, stayed in the hospital maybe 2-3 weeks. Because I had to just do dialysis there until they can get all that fluid off me, try to get my blood pressure down, all of that stuff. So, yeah, that was like 2019 going into 2020, I think. Yeah, something like that. So, here we are now, 3 years later. I've been on the transplant list since like mid 2020. And I cannot remember the website right off back. If
we'll put it down at the bottom on this.
Okay.
In the
so I've been searching, for a donor, of course, a living donor, because with a living donor, there's a better chance for your kidney to last longer versus getting a deceased donor. The way the deceased donor works is, of course, somebody has a wreck or something, and they are they're considered a donor, I guess. That's what you call it. An organ donor. Considered an organ donor. Then they will take whatever organs they can, but a kidney cannot be out for more than 48 hours.
Got it.
So what happens is they will call you.
Immediately.
You gotta be there.
Stop, and your body gotta be ready. Like all your vitals and stuff.
Everything.
Yep.
You gotta drop everything you're doing. They're gonna start prepping that kidney for surgery. You got to get there. So, to be honest, a lot of people say, well, you should, get on the transplant list in Alabama and North Carolina and South Carolina and all that. For me, I don't want the pressure and I don't want the disappointment. It may sound crazy, but I don't, because if I know I can't get there in the 4 hours or the 6 hours that they're giving me, like, I'm going to be super disappointed and even more depressed.
Yeah.
So, I'm on the kidney list at Emory in Atlanta, and I'm going through the process of getting on the kidney list currently at Piedmont. So those are my two right now. But again, I'm still trying to get a living donor, so I don't even have to wait on that. Now, my little cousin, she's been trying to be a living donor for me.
The process.
Emory and their process with living donors are the worst, which is why I'm trying to get on Piedmont. But also she's not a match. However, Emory does have an exchange program to where if somebody wants to give you donated kidney and they're not a match, they automatically bump you up on the list. So it's like you're the next person to get a kidney, and they give your donor kidney to somebody who's ready. So, but like I said, if it's somebody out there that's trying to donate a kidney, you think these plants got kidneys? I can't pull it from the plant.
Just chlorophyll and stems. No.
You think I can get a dog kidney?
I don't know how that works.
Like, do people have pit bull kidneys?
I don't think so.
No. I've been thinking of everything. And the crazy part is, y'all, like, they actually have electronic kidneys. They do. So really so what does that tell you?
Like a pacemaker.
What does that tell you? These people are all about money, because they can just give us these electronic kidneys, or not even give, but find a way for them to be affordable, so that we're not paying these. I pay about $35,000 a month to go to dialysis a month, and that's just one person. We have about 40 to 50 chairs in our clinic, and we have 3 shifts, and all 3 shifts are full.
Pharmaceutical company in this industry is $1 trillion industry, and this is a capitalistic society. That's why these strikes going on.
Insane.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so I'm gonna put the information for the kidney if you want to make donations, because when Gavin does get a kidney, he's going to be out of work for a considerable amount of time. So he is going to need a little extra help, So if you feel it in your heart, drop 500, 5,000, whatever the Lord tell you.
Cent.
Anything.
Listen.
Everything counts. So like, this ain't no easy thing to be going through. What? And you mentioned depression. Like, when you have those moments, like, what are you telling yourself to pull yourself back out of that? Because I can imagine it can get very dark.
Yeah, and the interesting part about it, I joked earlier about the green, but I mean, that really, smoking really helped with my anxiety and my depression, because my anxiety went to like 100 after that. Keep in mind, I already had really bad anxiety because, again, adding another thing, I'm blind in my right eye, like I'm fully blind. So when I went blind, that's when my anxiety started. And now adding something new on, it was like on 10. So smoking, one, helped me with the depression. It helped me with sleeping. It helped me with the anxiety. But not only that, with kidney failure, your appetite is like horrible.
Yeah.
So it helped with my appetite. So all of that was helping. Now, because they told me I can't be on the transplant list if I have marijuana in my system, which is absolutely insane. And I'm trying to get the doctor to write a prescription for it, but that's a whole nother story. But at this point, it's therapy. I've seen psychologists and psychotherapists. Um, I will say, even though I don't like, because I'm already on a million medications, I will say the anxiety medication that they have given me has helped.
Okay.
So those 2 pills help out a lot. I try not to take them every day.
Yeah.
Find other coping mechanisms, gym,
Yeah.
whether it's being a creative, work, being engulfed in work has helped me a lot. Just staying focused on that and the planning, all of that stuff, that helps me out. But yeah, I will say there are days to where it's hard. It's a struggle, especially like I've had events to where they were right after my dialysis treatment. And that's some of the hardest stuff ever. Sometimes I'll have a team to help me out. Sometimes I don't. But either way, I have to push through it, see it through every single time. So, yeah, I mean, it ain't for the weak.
No.
I could say that. And I don't talk about it a lot because I don't talk about it for sympathy.
Yeah.
But you know, I do try to explain sometimes why things happen the way they do, why I'm operating the way I am. Sometimes people are like, oh, you're not the same upbeat Gavin, or, you know, clients sometimes look at me crazy, but I never want to offer an excuse. I just want to give them that finished product that they're asking for from me.
Yeah.
No matter, you know, how I'm feeling that day. So, and most of the times I don't even tell my clients anything about my health or what's going on with that, because I don't want it to be a sympathy situation, you know, because that's not what they hired me for.
Yeah.
So.
Do you find that this situation gets in the way or becomes an issue when it comes to dating?
It gets in the way of everything. Man, my social life, period, just and I know some people don't care. Like, it's all good or whatever, but for me, it's an internal situation. Like, I'm gonna always be thinking like, oh, is my fistula being seen? Or, oh, am I gonna get sick on a date? And honestly, the last couple of dates I've attempted, I got sick. Like, I threw up from walking to the car to the restaurant. I threw up. I was just like, hold on for a second, I'll be right back. And I kind of like went over behind a tree, had to throw up because I get nauseous, like, especially when I'm overexerting myself. And so it was from literally walking to the car to the restaurant.
Wow.
So yes, it gets in the way. But I mean, again, it's one of those things where, you know, sometimes that person might not care. Like, it's just about communication. But it's just a subconscious thing for me. And then travel, that's a big thing for me, because now when I travel, like, I have to go and find a dialysis clinic. Right. And so the last couple, like, out of the country trips I went on, like, they didn't accept my insurance. So I had to pay out of pocket as well. So that's a hindrance sometimes. Or they don't even have, like, I was trying to go to my frat brother's wedding in the DR, and we were trying to find somebody that may have accepted my insurance, or even had openings for me to come. And so it was so last minute with us trying to search it. I started my search 6 months prior to, but it got down to the last minute to where I had to cancel my trip.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, you know, is a sacrifice as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. God be knowing who to put through what.
Exactly. Now I hate that. I hate that for me. I hate that for God. But because I'm like, God, listen, I'm tired of you using me as a test dummy.
Listen,
like, but yeah, you right.
I said to my homegirl as she was leaving the party last night, I was like, I know I'm in transition right now. And I'm grateful for the transition because I know that I'm growing through this transition. And I feel like I honestly feel like I'm growing exponentially in this transitional period that I'm in. But I'm so damn ready. Done with transitioning. I'm done. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I want 24 hours. 24.
Just 24.
24 of doing absolutely nothing and not being tested and not thinking too much. But I know as a creative, it's like sometimes I'll be laying in a particular position in my bed, sleep, and don't let me move a little bit and I get a little bit uncomfortable. My eyes pop open and I'm thinking about 12,000 different things. And I'm trying to go back to sleep, but now I can't go back to sleep because now I'm trying to take over the world, come up with a master plan,
figure out how I'm going to eat, how I'm going to pay for the eating, and then pay for this gas that's $279 a gallon.
Oh my God.
And then worry about if I'm going to walk outside and the sun going to melt my face off because now we in this global heating trend, whatever y'all want to. Like, I'm tired of lifing.
It ain't gonna stop though.
It ain't gonna stop, but like, can it ease up just a little bit, guys?
I don't know. I don't think for us. Yes, I think it will. It's all preparation, and that has to be the perspective that we look at it from. All of these things are working together because, like you said, you don't talk about your health issues and the things that you're going through looking for sympathy. You're talking about them to educate people because people literally have no idea. And it could be somebody that's going to be watching this that's dealing with kidney disease, that's dealing with this, but they ain't never seen nobody that look like them that's dealing with it and talking about it.
Right.
And that's another thing where I keep it's been on my heart heavy for this past week about people being authentic and not being fake with this social media shit. Like, it's so much fake. It's so much fake that you got people out here that are looking for answers and they're looking to find themselves in somebody. But because people are only showing a snapshot and those snapshots ain't even real, you are, it's like the blind leading the damn blind. Like, what is you doing and why are you doing it this way? If you would just be authentic and be real and transparent about what you got going on, your impact will be so much greater. And I don't care about fame. I care about my legacy. And I want people to, when YouTube ain't never gonna go nowhere. All these videos that are out here are always going to be out here. So I want somebody to go in 30 years to look back and be like, oh, Brittany was talking that shit for real. And I can see she was a good ass person, really making an impact, connecting with a real community. I don't want no people having people that have followers around you, the numbers are cool because, your reach will be their reach or whatever. But a lot of times, them followers ain't your followers. They not the people that are supposed to be a part of your community. And that's a hard lesson that I had to, I ain't gonna say hard. It was something that I already knew, but I was trying to force some shit. And God was like, I done told you. So what is you doing? But it's important for us to be open, honest, transparent, true, and 100% ourselves so these people can get something from it. And when you're that way, people are naturally going to
follow you.
Yes. Yes. Like, come on now. Like, I'm tired, but I am so happy and content. And it's a lot of shit going on in my life right now. And it's weird that I'm in such a good space, but I kind of know, I told somebody earlier, I was like, Girl, God just be tossing me, then he be tossing me, and then he catch me. She said, "Oh, but that catch."
Yeah. Oh wow. But
That catch. That catch. That catch. And I think that that's something that's beautiful about you. You said something to me the other day when we were on the phone. I was telling you about my move. He was like, I ain't got to worry about when me and you go through stuff. It's like, all right, what's next?
Exactly. Exactly.
And that goes back to me saying, like, God know who to give. Although it's not all the heavy as the head, that wears the crown, but we know what to do. It's a lot of people that don't know what to do with the circumstances that they are given. And I love the fact that you bring comedy into whatever your situation. You're going to laugh. Clearly, the section about Pornhub, you just took it there, Oh, you didn't want me to bring that back up, although you took the entire.
Listen, I'm either Pornhub or X. Y'all know Twitter.
Oh my God, that wasn't. Oh, Twitter. Oh,
it's called X now. You better get your song.
You on Twitter?
Mm-mm. I am.
Please.
I'm on Feet Finder though.
I set me up an account, but it was a whole bunch of spam and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think nobody like my feet.
I had one person offer something, but they wanted like 15 photos.
What wrong with 15? Shit, you gotta put a photo up by these plants.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about
plant goddess. Plant goddess, that would be.
It's similar to that, my profile name. Listen, it's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get that money.
Anybody want some big stinking feet pics? Like sometimes they swell up. Anybody like diabetic porn?
Gavin.
They hit me up like
Gavin.
It's
Gavin.
What? It's so my feet finder is swollen ankles.
Please shut up.
Swollen ankles, but at the end it's a Z, not an S. Swollen
Gavin.
ankles.
All right, Gavin, what you got coming up next? Cause what?
So I'm continuing to work. I have a few weddings that I am like now excited about. I was nervous about it at first. I just met one of the new brides for 2024. I just met her in person today and I got a good vibe from her. But yeah, I'm just continuing to work. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on my business Instagram, which is Events by Gavin. And check out some of my work there. Y'all, I'm trying with a website. Shout out to Ola from D Fort Valley State. Is it Ola? Ola from D Fort Valley State. He did my website, but I don't really be sending like updated pictures to him. I'm trying to do better with that. But you can still go on the website.
Eventsbygavin.com?
Eventsbygavin.com. Everything's Events by Gavin.
Yeah.
So I don't have a X Twitter.
Nobody's calling it X.
Business Twitter.
Nobody. Oh my God.
Well, it is a business Twitter.
Oh my God.
But anyway, yeah. So do that. Make sure y'all book me. Like I'm a full service event planning firm. So I don't just do weddings. I don't just do balloons. Like if you have a company and you're trying to do advertisement, PR. My undergrad from Fort Valley is in marketing. So I still, can work with you on marketing your business. If we need to do some type of events to combine to draw in new clients for you, I do all of that. I love corporate events. Like that's really what I want to get back to based off of what I started doing when I started in the event planning company or industry. It was corporate. Like we didn't do a lot of weddings and birthday parties and baby showers. Those are fun. because it allows me to be creative. But I do want to get back into the corporate side. So hit me up.
He does them all well. He planned 3 of my birthday parties, 2019, 20 I went to the club. No, we did the backyard thing, 20 and 21.
Mm-hmm.
Or what did we do, 21?
I know it was the venue, the co-working space.
Yes, that was 2019.
And then we did the backyard at your house.
That was 20.
And then we did my event space.
Yes, that was 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't through some
and they keep growing and growing because I cringe when I look at that first party. I was like, what in the world?
It's all right. I cringe when I look at that outfit I had on. It was terrible. My titties was down here. With that little
that was the outfit.
Terrible.
When that the outfit, like
my friend Daryl, he adjusted it for me.
Yeah, because you ordered it or something.
And it was terrible.
I remember that. Yeah.
The vision did not come together. It looked like one of them girls that be at one of them random parties and people be talking shit about their pictures on the Facebook page where they post all the pictures. It was terrible.
You gotta lose the win.
Right, no, for real, we gotta lose the win. Tell them your website and Instagram one more time.
So website www.eventsbygavin.com. So that's events with the S .com, and then Instagram same thing, events by Gavin. Gavin is Gavin, V as in Victor, IN.
Thank you for coming.
Man, I'm excited. It's time to go get drunk.
Oh my God.
And like you ain't got no food. Like in this house, like I ain't got no platters. And I'm munchy. Like I am munchy. I was thinking we was gonna have an egg roll or something. Like
we had egg rolls yesterday, but you ain't come to my party. Oh, okay. Thank you for tuning in for yet another episode of In the Green Room. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, In the Green Room Podcast. Follow me on Instagram at Brittany Shanae, BritTaney SHANAE. We are not only on YouTube for season 2, but we are also on Spotify. So make sure if you are driving and riding, listen to us in your ear. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good shit. I love y'all. I will see y'all soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. Make sure you join us next week, same place, same time, for yet another episode of In the Green Room Podcast. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Spotify.